Welcome back to another video. So, I have my headset in right now. I don't really know how that's going to come out, but I really wanted to put a video together about something that really kind of drop kicked me in the face not too long ago. And that is so many times, and I'm guilty of this too, so in a lot of ways I'm kind of talking to myself as much as I am to anybody else, is that say things like, I'm going to be this or I'm going to be that. You could say, I'm going to be rich one day. I'm going to be in a happy marriage one day. I'm going to lose weight one day. I'm going to get physically fit one day. In the future, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. Blah, blah, blah. On and on it goes. And how many of you have done that? You might all raise your hand right now because every single one of us has more than likely done it. Some of us have done it as early as 10 minutes ago. And you know what the real truth is? You're not going to have anything. You're going to have exactly what you've always had, maybe slight difference. And that really has to do with only one thing. If you or I say, my future is going to have this, or my future is going to have that, or I'm going to have this one day, but you're not doing anything to get it now, you will never have what you want. That's the truth. If you want, say, a happy relationship, how are you going to get it? Are you going to be sitting on your couch eating potato chips, hoping that, Mr. or Mrs. Right is literally going to fall through the door? Amazon delivered them. Amazon Prime, 2-day free shipping. Here comes your perfect mate. I mean, come on. How many of us are guilty of thinking that about that thing? Y'all, I'm talking to myself as much as I am you. So, why don't we do now to get what we want in the future? Main reason is fear. Let's get real. Fear. Are you a lazy person, or are you a person who will do the work, but they want basically have a guarantee? I'm the kind of person that I'll do the work, but I want a guarantee. And so often in life, you don't get guarantees on anything. You do the work and you hope that you're doing it well enough, or you hope for a break or whatever. And maybe oftentimes, you're doing work, but it's not in the right direction. And so things don't work out how you anticipated, and you fall off the bandwagon. You're like, well, this shit doesn't work. And on it goes. And I was told this a long time ago, that time will speed up as you get older. You know what? It's absolutely freaking true. You wouldn't believe just how fast months can go by. Months can go by as fast as days, it seems like. And I've heard from people way older than me that years will one day be like that. Before you realize that, a year passes, another year passes, another year passes. So what future do you really have unless you're willing to do something today? See, all the things I've ever achieved is because I went and took action right now. And sometimes I failed. Sometimes things just didn't work out. But if you never take a chance, you will always fail. The only time you're never going to get something is when you don't try for it. That is the only way you're guaranteed not to get it. So sometimes, even recently, I've taken chances out of my comfort zone. And you know what I said? You know what? Who cares? Let me give it a shot. What's the worst can happen? I get laughed at. I get, told no. I go, slink in the corner like a dog who just got whipped by a rolled up newspaper. Is that really going to matter in a month or 2 or 6 years? No, I'm not even going to remember it. So I went and took action. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. You never know what's possible until you do something. So if you are sitting there saying, thinking about the future, oh, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that, but you're not doing anything right now to get it, you're not going to have it. That's the truth. You have to be doing something. You have to be taking some kind of physical action in the direction you want, or you will always be wishing for a future that you will never have. And that goes for me too. Will I ever be physically fit if I sit on my butt and eat potato chips? No. I mean, anyone can tell you that. So what if I, in the future, go to the gym? Well, is that going to help me now? If something's always in the future, it's always going to be in the future until you have no more future left, because you've spent your whole life thinking about a future that you kept putting off and putting off and putting off. And as the years keep going and the years keep going, some doors will close. They're just not possible anymore. Some doors will still be possible, but you only have a certain amount of life. There will never be an end to the future, but there will be an end to you. So, how many years have you wasted? How many years have I wasted? More than I want to think about. How many years did I waste because of fear? Probably about all the ones I don't want to think about. I mean, fear is really the big one that holds most people back, and I'll count myself among those. What are you going to do today to stop that? Set an action plan. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it? Who are you willing to become to get it? And if you're still being held back by fear, remember this: when you face your fear, fear evaporates, because fear is an illusion. It's all in the head, and it disappears as you take physical action towards it. If you're scared of water, you know how you solve your fear of water? Jump in. I'm scared of heights. I jumped off a cliff. Why? Because I'm crazy. It's actually a lot of fun, actually, but people call me crazy because fear feels so freaking real, but it really is fake. It's about the fakest real feeling thing you're ever going to experience. And there'll be no future. Every great thing I've ever accomplished is because I went after something now, not in the future, right freaking now, and said to hell with fear, to hell with consequences, to hell with responsibility, to hell with every person or thing that says I can't do what I want to do. I threw it all away and said, the hell with them, and I went for it. And guess what? I usually got it. And left whoever told me I can't have it, standing over there sulking because, I did exactly what they said I couldn't do. Or they say I can't do it. But you know what? If someone says you can't do something, you know what that's just telling you? They're telling you that they can't do it because they're afraid. It doesn't have any application to you at all unless you put it that way. So, are you going to waste your entire life putting off to a future that will never come because of what society tells you? Because you're afraid? Because, any other reason you come up with? Do you really want to be laying, in a hospital bed, wishing you had the guts today to do what you will regret tomorrow? Most people, that's the biggest regret for most people when they come to the end of their lives. They regret giving into the fear. They regret that they didn't have, you always have the courage to do something. You have to make a choice. The choice is, do I obey others? Do I listen to society? Do I let my circle of friends or family dictate to me what kind of life I will live? Or do I take what I believe I should because I am good enough and I have all the power in the freaking world? And you do. You absolutely do. If you make the choice right now to do something, you can do it. There's no question about it. Will you do it well? Maybe not. Maybe you have to learn some stuff, but you can still do it. You want to drive off someplace, maybe you don't own a car, rent a car. Maybe you don't have any money, find a way to get money. Then get into the car. What stopped you? If you're looking to achieve something, but your family says that you can't have it, or they say it's not a good idea, you decide what's a good idea. You see, are you living their lives for them, or are you living your life? Are you trying to, make up for the failures of the past? Maybe something you didn't even have any control over. Reliving cycle after cycle after cycle of failure, trying to hope not to repeat what mistakes others have made. Or are you living a life that you want to live? Most people are too afraid to live a life true to themselves. And that is the number one regret of the people who die. When all the time is spent and there are no more chances, you're going to wish for all that time back again. And you know what? You're not going to get it. No one gets it. At the end, you're going to be left with your decisions. You're either going to feel pride in a life that you live fulfilled for yourself, or you're going to have a long list of regrets of things you wish you had done differently. You wish that you had been true to yourself. You wish you didn't give into the fear of what could happen. You wish you had said no to those people who said you can't do something, or to push off the so-called responsibilities that don't mean jack shit to anybody. You know, you have a responsibility to do this, I have a responsibility to do that. What it would happen if you said no and you went and did something else? That's how simple it is. That really is how simple it is. In a single second, you can decide to take an entirely new path in life, to go do something that you really wanted to do. You could have waited years and years and years, always putting it off. And in a single moment, you can make it happen. You can decide you're going to do it now, not tomorrow, not next year, not in the future that will never be. You're going to do it right now and create the future that you so wanted. Because if you don't do the action, you don't take the action, you're not going to have that future. You're not going to have that tomorrow that way you see it. You're not going to have a life worth living unless you make it a life worth living. And I wasted a lot of years listening to other people. I wasted a lot of years being afraid. A lot of regrets. And I've tried to hell not to add more to it. That if I fail, I fail. That's okay. But if I determine I need to speak up, if I determine to do something, and others say I can't do it because, they're too weak to do it, I'll do it anyway. I refuse to give in to the fear. And if that means I piss people off, they're already calling me an asshole. I'm cool with that. Actually, I tell them it's a compliment. That means I'm being true enough to myself that I'm offending others' delicate sensibilities. They can call me asshole all day long. I love it. It's wonderful. They're just affirming to me how much I've grown. What about responsibilities? What the hell do I care about responsibilities? I have a responsibility to myself. You have a responsibility to yourself. How many people have entered your life and told you about responsibility, and then they're nowhere to be found, in 5 years? What about you? You're always going to be with yourself, so why not do your responsibility to yourself is to live a life that you want to live. What about that? To do the things you want to do, to love the way you want to love, to take the chances. Why not? Because someone said you can't? Because you're afraid? Because society says no? All of that's bullshit. Just go after what you want. And anyone who's not going to support you in that, it's okay for them to sit on the sidelines and watch you grow into something great, to live a life you want to live, and they can be jealous about what you're doing all day long, and that's okay. Alright? Now, if you love these triggering videos, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm going to make them anyway, but hit the like button anyway, because you know what? I like triggering people. It's fun. And we all need to be triggered some way in order to grow. So, hit the like, share it around, or not. It's up to you. And I'll talk to you on the next video.